Hello all, welcome to my channel Learnings with Payal. So today we are going to see what is the SAP architecture. So this is also the basic information which every SAP consultant should be aware about. So that's the only reason I thought of uh, you know creating the video on SAP architecture as well. So in SAP architecture, there are three types which we can see basically. One is R1 architecture, and then it's R2 architecture, and then R3 architecture. So usually you might have heard about R3, but then what is R1 and R2, that also we should be aware about. So let's check. So this R1, wherein R stands for real time, real time, and 1 stands for one one layer, or maybe we can call it as one tier. One layer of what? One layer of database. Okay. So R1 is nothing but R stands for real time and 1 stands for one layer or one tier of database. Then R2 is R again will be the real time. First layer is of presentation layer, and then second layer is of database. So these are the two layers that we have in R2. R stands for real time, first layer presentation layer, and second layer would be database layer. And then now R3 comes into the picture, where R stands for real time again. First layer would be of presentation layer, second layer would be of application layer, and third layer would be of database layer. So in R3 we can see that this is the additional layer which we have introduced, that is application layer. Now presentation layer means what? Presentation layer means nothing but the GUI, where the end user can be able to see the screen. That is nothing but the GUI screen, that is presentation screen. Database is where the data is completely stored, and now the application layer, which is the new layer which is introduced in R3. So now what is all about application layer, that we'll see. Okay, so application layer. So application layer basically consists of processes and services. Okay, so this application layer consists of processes and services. So now we'll see what is processes and services. Now one more, this R3 is nothing but ECC. Now what is the full form for ECC is ERP central component. ERP central component is nothing but ECC. Now we'll see what is there in processes. So in processes, we have 5 types of processes in it. That is, first one is dialogue, second one is background, third one is spool, fourth one is update, and fifth one is enqueue. Okay, so we'll see what is this. So now dialogue process, what does that mean? Let me just, yeah. So what does this dialogue process means? Dialogue is nothing but the interaction between user and system, is nothing but the dialogue process. So I will just write it down in short. That is interaction between user and system. This is nothing but dialogue process. Now background process, what does this mean? So it means long duration activities and recurring activities. Duration or recurring, let's say recurring activities. Okay, so background process is basically consist of long duration activities and recurring activities. Now third one is spool. So spool is like it's a printer related activity, nothing but it's a printer related activity. Printer related activity. Okay, I'm writing it in short so that I should not take much time in writing. Now update is nothing but updating database. And the last enqueue. Enqueue process is nothing but following the queue while updating the database. Okay. So enqueue is nothing but following the queue while updating the database. This is just to prevent the deadlock situation, and that's why this enqueue process is there. Now we have seen the processes part. Now we'll see what is services part over here. Okay, so services basically includes the two types, that is messages and gateways. Messages and gateways are there in services. So now what does this messages means? Messages means load balancing among application servers. Messages means nothing but load balancing between application servers. And gateway is nothing but communication between two SAP system or one SAP system with other non-SAP systems. It's like it can be a communication between two SAP systems, or it can be communication with one SAP and other non-SAP systems. So kind of communication what happens over there, it's nothing but through gateways only. And messages is nothing but that load balancing amongst the application servers. So this is all about the architecture of R3. So basically R1 is nothing but the structure wherein we will be able to see only one layer, that is database. It was a very first version of R1, that is uh, basically the first version, and then the second version comes into the picture with presentation layer and database layer as well. And then R3 comes into the picture, wherein we have introduced the one more layer, that is application layer, wherein we have these two processes, that is two things in the application layer, that is processes and services, where processes is nothing but dialog, background, spool, update and enqueue, and then services are messages and gateway. This is the basic information about SAP architecture. But to understand what R3 is and why we have introduced and settled on R3, we should have the basic knowledge on R1 and R2 as well, and that's the only motto I had while sharing this knowledge with you. So now you should understand that these are the all layers that we have in R3. So yeah, so this is the architecture of R3 basically. If you have any queries, you can just drop the messages in the chat comment box, and I will definitely try to help you out with the queries. Thank you so much, everyone.